A decent reaction there to the magistrate's decision?
Well, lots of excitement, I can tell you that, Marcel, because the courtroom was full of Zandile Gumede's supporters. Only a few of them managed to get in, though, because there were tickets issued to both journalists as well as close family and friends, so they were elated. She left very quickly after the proceedings had wrapped. In fact, she got out of the courtroom into the lift and she was quickly ushered away, and that was before most of the journalists could even get out of that courtroom. But really quite a long process for what turned out to be something of a simple outcome. About 2 hours or so in that courtroom with 2 adjournments for the purposes of preparing affidavits. But the long and short of it, really, Marcel, is that the Magistrate Dawn Somaroo found that she didn't intentionally violate her bail conditions. What she said is not in question is whether those bail conditions were violated in the first place. They were, and that's because she wasn't at the listed residence, the residence at least that was listed on her bail affidavit. That is in reference to that Somerset Park in Mhlanga home. That's where the asset forfeiture unit investigators started their raid yesterday. What the state had said here was she had listed that address as well as one in Phoenix in Durban as the places where she resides. The Somerset Park address was a property that she was renting. The Phoenix one was owned by her. The only place that the Inanda home was mentioned in that bail affidavit was under immovable property, but not necessarily as somewhere where she resides.
Now, it's been a bit of a whirlwind 24 hours with Zandile Gumede at its center, and you've been there along for the ride. As you said, we heard about that raid, all those luxury vehicles splashed across social media, and then the video of Zandile Gumede pleading poverty. You tweeted earlier that the state had not called for bail to be revoked, but merely seeking an explanation as to why she changed addresses without informing the correct authorities. Did they get the explanation they wanted?
Well, it was really just a rap on the knuckles, if anything. The explanation, in very simple terms, was it wasn't me. It was my attorney. That's what she said in an affidavit. She says that she moved out of that property, the Somerset Park property, on the 13th of August. She had informed her instructing attorney. He did not then pass that information on to the investigating officer. And she didn't follow up, and the only time this had come to light again was yesterday when those raids were conducted. The attorney in this case, Bulelani Mazomba, then verified that by also submitting an affidavit saying that he had taken responsibility for that. There was something of a light moment in court as well, Marcel, and that was when Advocate Jay Naidu, who was representing Gumede, said to the magistrate, almost in exasperation, after issuing this explanation, he said, well, what's done is done. And at that point we heard a few chuckles in the courtroom because he was almost just asking the court to accept that explanation that was given and move on.
Now, back in court for the former eThekwini mayor on the 15th of January next year, so she can start preparing for Christmas. Do we get a sense of what she's doing with her time as she awaits her day in court?
Well, that's not clear just yet because even on, well, yesterday, for example, she was at a home. From the little we could see, it appeared that she was watching TV. It seems like she has taken something of a step backwards out of the limelight in a way, and that's as she prepares for the ANC conference as well. So for now, there's very little information on what she's doing. Even in the court today, Marcel, she was very quiet. She hardly spoke to those that were around her, including those that had been her staunch supporters. I think she was really just focused on the proceedings and getting through that. But just based on all of the support that she has and just some of the remarks that she's made both on her Twitter account as well as through her representatives, it certainly doesn't look like it'll be the last that we'll see of Zandile Gumede.
Desan Tatia reporting us live there from Durban. Thank you so much for that update.